You're looking very khaki today. It's like very army.
Yeah, I feel very army today.
Why?
And I just thought I'd get my army gear out.
Okay.
All I need is my black boots.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Your Timberlands.
I'll tell you why I'm wearing khaki.
Because it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the colour's got nothing to do with it. I just went into the cupboard and picked the first thing.
The warmest thing you've got.
No, the first thing.
Okay.
That was on top of my thing, which was this green.
Okay.
I was like, okay, fine. That'll do.
Okay,
You're looking very brown today.
Very brown.
No,
always very
you're
beige
always very
or,
brown.
Yeah. I know, I love neutral colours.
I thought you were something different.
Yeah, a different tone.
Nice t-shirt.
Thanks.
No, where'd you get that from? Oh yeah, I got it.
It's actually really warm because I cannot get over how cold it is in Dubai at the moment.
It is freezing at the moment.
I know this sounds ridiculous to people listening or watching, especially if you're somewhere like the UK. Honestly, it's nowhere near that, so I'm grateful for that. But for Dubai, it is very cold.
Yeah, but look, right. If you measure it as a temperature drop
Yeah.
from what we're used to, so it can get as high as 45 degrees on an average day in summer here,
Yeah.
right? So from 45 degrees, it's dropped down to like 8-9 degrees now, right? So that's what, like a 35 degree difference on average.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the same as, like, say in the UK, you're used to a 20 degree average day and it goes to -15.
Yeah.
So if you look at the temperature drop, so we're so used to the heat, so the
Yeah.
temperature drop's massive
I know.
and we're not used to it.
It is cold.
It's
I'm
cold.
looking forward to summer now.
I'm done with this cold.
Yeah.
I ride in it every morning.
It's
You're going to
crazy.
see how I wrap up.
Are you like making sure there are no like holes anywhere?
Huh? No, if I was in the UK,
Yeah.
I'd be accused of being a phone thief.
What with how you look in the mornings?
Yeah. Or black, like
Yeah.
literally you're balaclavaed up.
That's so funny. Can you take a picture next time? Because it's obviously really early. I want to see what you look like.
Yeah, I'll do it next time I ride out.
So I thought we would talk about something that a few people have been discussing online, and I thought it was quite interesting. The hustle culture. So let me explain what I mean to you, like, first. And what that is when you see social media people, whether they're influencers or whatever, promoting the fact that they are constantly working, it's constantly about productivity, and it puts this pressure on people. They measure their success based on the constant work and the constant like productivity. So they're kind of showing that they never take a break. It's just completely constant. Some people are saying, well, why are you promoting something like that? Because it's not realistic. Two, people are saying that, is this kind of like the only way I'm able to succeed if I have a small business, that I basically work like that? So I thought we could talk about that today, about how social media portrays that kind of message and whether it's real. And there's so much behind it, I feel, that we can talk about.
All right, do you want my opinion on it?
Yeah.
I think people glorify the fact that they're working a lot
Yeah.
when they're probably not.
I do think it's that, it's
like,
the glorification
look
of
how hard
that.
I'm working. You're stupid. Right?
It's very, very straight to it.
Huh?
That's very straight to the point. You're
Because I know what you're talking about now. All these people, oh yeah, you've got to hustle, you've got to do this, you've got to do
Yeah.
that. I've grown up my entire life around a business environment, right?
Yeah.
So when I was born in the late 70s, my dad had just set up his business, right? Early days.
Yeah.
Right? So I've known nothing other than like growing up in a business environment.
Yeah.
What's so funny about that? You just had a sip of your tea.
Yeah, because I don't drink tea normally. So this is like very kind of,
Not very tasty.
very like, oh, I'm drinking tea. It was nice, yeah, but it does need a bit of sugar though. It's a
No,
bit,
it doesn't.
I don't know, maybe I'm just not used to it, but yeah. Go on.
Yeah, so like in the late 70s, I was born, and you know, like I was the only child. Like my brother was born 5 years after I was born, right? So I remember we moved into our house. My mum and dad had bought a house, and we had no furniture to sit in, right? It was that basic. So we had beds, but I remember moving in, and then like the vague memories, like childhood memories of us sitting on the floor eating our dinner and stuff, like because we had no furniture. And yeah, my dad worked very hard with his brothers in the business that they set up, okay? But this hustle culture, like in the early days, yeah, like my dad used to work on a Saturday until half day, like Monday to Friday and Saturday half day, maybe a full day, whilst they were setting the business up. And yeah, they were putting in the hours. I think the hours go in when you initially need to set up the business, right? So you're like, it could be a side hustle. So if you've got a 9 to 5 and you're trying to establish a business, you're doing it on the side. So that takes time, right?
Yeah.
So that's when you are working extra hours because you're trying to create a means of making money so that you don't have to do your 9 to 5. So you're replacing your 9 to 5 with another 9 to 5, which you actually enjoy doing, which you're more passionate about. So I think initially, yeah, there is a lot of time and effort that goes into it. But to glorify that, I don't understand why you would do that, because it is torturous. Like when we initially started off doing what we're doing, we had to put in a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And it was weekends, and it was like we were working, stupid hours. But I wouldn't glorify that. Like, why would you want to tell someone, oh, that's great?
Yeah, I know. But I think that has a lot to do with how social media is now. They try and have this perfectly curated image of everything they do, down to making a cup of coffee or going to the shops or going to a meeting. Everything is glorified now. And that is where it becomes an unrealistic kind of benchmark for people to aim towards, because it isn't like I think people watching need to, not just us but looking at these things on social media, need to remember that, is this the reality of their life, or is this them just portraying that it is this way? I don't believe that the people who glorify it live that way 24/7.
I tell you what, right? When you're busy as much as we were to start off whatever we're doing, we didn't have time to take a bloody photo.
Very true.
Right? So all these people who are curating these photos and images, how much time have you wasted setting that up? Do you know what you could have done in that hour?
Yeah.
Which would have actually moved your business forward.
Yeah. Well, okay. Just playing devil's advocate here, right? Someone who is doing that could turn around and say to you, well, yeah, but that is part of the business for me. Glorifying it or whatever it is that they're doing, that could be them. That's their version of, that's business for me. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but it depends on what their business is.
Yeah, true.
Right. So what is their business?
It could be either something to do with social media, like they've clearly become an influencer or content creator through whatever they're doing. But some of the ones that I've seen are from different businesses. It's just they've added in how they work for the day, and you kind of like wonder, like, is that real? Is that the way that you work throughout the day?
Like, look, there are certain people out there who are grafters, right?
Yeah.
So there's a car garage that I follow online and on Instagram, based in the UK, right? Like, this guy's been knocking around for ages. He was around when I used to go to car auctions with my dad and see him there. He's got a very well established, like, high-end car garage, and he goes on stories in the morning. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and he goes, I've just come into the office, and he'll just do a reel. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, I never stop working. This is when business is done. And I get there's a very old school way of working, right? Where my dad, your dad, people of that era probably graft, like all the hours under the sun to try and get their job done. Times have changed now. Like, you can work so much smarter. Like, I have to be careful how I phrase this, right? Because I know I'm going to piss people off. But look, you don't have to work all the hours that you can find to create a living, right? If you want to work smarter, you can work smarter. In the same way, because if that was the case, right, and people got rewarded for the amount of hours they put in effort and worked, what explain Elon Musk? He doesn't have any more hours in the day than we do, right?
Yeah.
Explain Bill Gates. He doesn't, right? So, like, Jeff Bezos, all these people, multimillionaires, I'll tell you what they do, they work smarter. initially there was a hustle. You see, like Jeff Bezos, there's that photo that goes around, of him in his
Yeah.
garage, right? And I agree that like everybody starts from somewhere. There's like people have humble beginnings, right? But then as you start evolving, you start working smarter, and that's what people should be saying. That look, initially it's tough, and if they're promoting that, fair enough. Initially it's tough. It's like a snowball effect. Like to get the snowball going is quite hard. Like you have to push it around, but like once you're pushing it down the hill, it kind of just gets momentum.
Yeah, I do agree there. I don't see enough of people kind of promoting that side of it, the
Do
reality
you
of
know?
it.
Do you know why? Who's gonna like that?
Well, yeah, but then I feel like you're gonna attract the right people. Like I've always said for a long time, like what you put out there is gonna determine the type of person you're gonna attract. If you're gonna glorify the hustle culture and the way that you work, you're gonna attract the people who fall for it, I feel like. And if you are gonna put the reality up, which is it isn't great every day, it is difficult some days. You do deal with burnout and you are anxious about certain things like, is this deal going to go through or have I done enough for this? Though that's the reality of business, that even if you are working 24/7, you're working all the time, you still have those days.
There's working hard and working smart, and I think
Yeah.
people, I think they kind of like there's a blurred line between both of them, working hard and working smart, and people mistake one for the other.
Yeah.
Right? A garbage collector and a bricklayer and a labourer on a building site all work hard, right? I'm not disputing that. It's a very hard job that they do. But are they paid the same as somebody who's worked smart and probably does less than that, sits in an office and has actually just worked a bit smarter in their life and is making more money?
Yeah.
So you've got, you could argue the point that the people who are working harder are getting paid less than the people that are working smarter.
Yeah.
So if you want to glorify something, what I would glorify is work smart.
Yeah.
Try and work smart where, I'll be honest, if you want to make it in life, you need to put in as little effort as you can to make as much money as you can.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the ideal scenario.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Like what can I do that's going to take either the least amount of time, the least amount of my resources to make me the most amount of money, right? So that's your return on your investment. So you maximize your return on your investment, and your investment might be your time, might be your effort, whatever it is that you put in. So the more you do of that, the more likely you are to give yourself an easy life, because you've put in. If somebody said to me, "Oh, you've got a chance to either work smart for an hour, like work smart for an hour a day, you get paid £1 million or dollars a year for it, or you can work really hard for 10 hours a day and get paid $100,000.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to say, "Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll work hard"? So no, I think it's just, there is a lot of hard work that goes into setting a business up so that you can work smart later on.
Yeah.
So you have to do the work hard bit first.
Yeah, it's not one without the other. Yeah.
Right? So there is the hard work element, but then it's how you switch that up to try and work smarter later on.
Yeah. I do also feel like when we're talking about working hard, some people have they misunderstand it, because I feel like some people, there's being busy and then there's actually being productive and working hard. Do you get what I mean? Some people think being busy all the time is working hard, but they're not actually getting the results. Do you know what I mean?
And then busy fools, that's what I call them.
Yeah.
And then they love to, "Oh, do you know what? I had a really busy day. Did you do much?"
What did you
No.
actually get done? Exactly.
No, nothing. Oh, that was a great day.
Yeah. Sometimes when I feel like I've had a busy day, 9 times out of 10, it's because I've had to go out somewhere and that's made it busy. But it hasn't necessarily been as productive as, for example, yesterday was for me. What I know today will be for me, because I'm not going out anywhere. And it's crazy. I had to cancel any events that I planned to go to and meeting, like catching up with a few people over coffee. I had to cancel all of that because I'm feeling a bit under the weather. And even though I was a bit bummed that I had to do that, on the other side of it, I've been so productive. I've managed to get things done that would have actually ended up creeping into the next week had I have met anyone or gone to an event this week. So I feel like there is a big difference between being busy and being productive, and I feel like sometimes people just misunderstand what that is, you know?
Do you know the jobs that I've had in my life that I've been most busy with
Yeah,
have paid me the least?
yeah, I'm not surprised.
Right, where I was literally non-stop working.
Yeah.
And I was busy all day, doing whatever the job was, and paid me the least. And then as soon as you start working smarter and, you start, like when I was in the corporate world, in banking, when I was right at the bottom where I started, I was at my busiest. But then as soon as you start climbing the ladder and other people are working for you and doing things,
Yeah,
frees up your time.
yeah,
And then you're like, hang on a minute, this is back to front. I'm actually working, I'm less busy now, but I'm getting paid more.
yeah,
So look, it's one of those things, and I don't mean to offend anybody who's with whatever job you've got, but don't fall for this glorification of having to be busy, because it's not.
yeah,
You know, the smartest people, the people who work smartest in the world, I would say are probably the most affluent, not the
yeah,
people who work the hardest, unfortunately, and that's just the way life is.
yeah.
So I guess that's my answer to that. So this hustle culture,
It's overrated.
nonsense.
Yeah. You also throw yourself into it and you kind of, I wouldn't call it hustling, but when you are really putting your head down and getting on with things, what we've learnt the hard way is sometimes you do need to take a step back and say, you know what, I need to slow down for a second because I'm working so hard, but I'm not getting the results that I want because, as you mentioned previously, we're not being smart about it. We're working and working and working. Like I would say a little while back last year, were doing that, right? Where we were just constantly working and you get so lost in it that you get to a point where you're burnt out. Do you remember that time where we were both, it happened several times throughout the year last year, didn't it?
Yeah, I stopped enjoying what I was doing.
Yeah, and we both got to this point where we were just like this, and it was always at different times, wasn't it? And I think one or two of them was kind of at the same time, where we just weren't enjoying it. And then we had to take a step back and say, I mean, I know I had to do this. I had to take a step back and say, why am I not enjoying this right now? It's not because I've lost interest in it, because this is my passion and I've not really felt that before. So why am I feeling it? And then I had to answer those questions and it was really difficult. And it was because it was just constantly going at it. It was just like it's almost like we created a rat race, but just for ourselves. It wasn't, no one else was involved in it, but we were just constantly going. And then we changed things around, which I remember you kind of, because that's your kind of thing, you had a look at everything and said, right, okay, let's do this, this and this, which involved us being able to slow down a little bit, but we were just working smarter. And how much better has it been since then? It's been much better. And that I would say is a good example of going through that phase of working hard and being busy, but not getting the results you want, and then kind of transitioning into working smarter. And yes, it's happened during several different phases of our work together, but it happens sometimes.
You just get carried
Yeah,
away.
you get carried. Yeah, exactly the best way to describe
So we got
it.
carried away. We got excited about a few things, and we ended up biting a lot
Yeah,
more than we could chew,
yeah,
and then it was wrong. It killed us,
yeah,
and we were both burnt out.
yeah.
And
It's hard though because it doesn't happen overnight, does it? Where
you
you
don't
all
even
of a
know
sudden
it's
start.
you don't even know,
Yeah,
because you're like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that, and then you start doing it, and before you know it, it's 6, 7 o'clock in the evening every night, and you're like,
yeah,
okay, we'll start again tomorrow, and then you go again, and it's just, and then you do get burnt out, and I think there were certain points that we were both at different points burnt out, but yeah, I pulled back on a lot of stuff.
but then you've also got to have the faith that your transition into working smarter, that isn't going to be overnight either. Do you know what I mean? We had to
Sometimes
give
it's
it a
the
few.
hardest thing, and it was a difficult pill to swallow, pulling
Yeah.
back, because it was like, I'm pulling back now, and then you start
Then
panicking.
you feel guilty.
I panic. I'm like, oh, we're doing less now.
Yeah.
What does that mean? If we're doing less, does that mean that it's going to hit us financially? And, you know, there's certain things you can't control.
But then it's the consistency that really gets you through that. It's having to have faith that, listen, it's not going to happen overnight. We're going to have to be consistent about it. And then you start to see.
And I will also say, right, this whole stuff about being an entrepreneur and all of that, it's not for everyone.
No.
Right? Unless I would say if you want to become an entrepreneur, do it in something that you're passionate about and that you enjoy. Because like 90% of it is not fun, right?
Yeah.
So if the 10% of what you do is the fun part of what you do, it makes it all worthwhile, right? Otherwise you're doing all of the graft for a business that you have literally no passion in, and it takes the fun out of it. There's only a certain amount of time you can do that before you pop and think, you know what, forget it, and then you've wasted your time. So, like, I know people who are better off in a 9 to 5. Yeah, I look at them and I think, like, and I've seen them and they're in a business, and I look at them and I think, do you know what, you'd have been better off just working for somebody else.
Yeah.
Go and do your 9 to 5, earn a decent salary, and come home and switch off. You know, this isn't for you. It's consuming you, and it's eating away at you, and I can see it.
Yeah.
You know, so in certain respects, I would say this hustle culture that is being promoted isn't for everyone.
No, I agree there. I do think it has been glorified way too much.
And, like, there's people that I've spoken to who are in business, and we've had conversations where sometimes it's like, do you know what? For what I do and what I get paid, I could go and get a job, and I wouldn't have the headache. You know, I'd get my annual leave. I could go on holiday and not have to like open my laptop or check my emails. You know, and I see that sometimes on holiday. You know, like when we go away, you see people actually just switched off and enjoying themselves.
And you're like, how are you doing
Yeah,
that?
what you do? How have you done that?
I know.
Because every time my phone goes off, I'm like checking to see what it is.
Yeah.
It's like a nervous twitch. It's like, oh, an email, oh, a text message. Oh, it's like, is there a problem? You know that, and you feel like you're constantly on, especially if you're running a small business.
I feel like that's another reason why it's so important to do something that you are passionate about.
Yeah.
For it to, like, feel right mentally as well, like for the mental side of it, like keeping yourself like mentally healthy about it, because it can be such a strain on you, I think, as well. Like, you just don't have guaranteed income. It's like you really do have that at the back of your mind, like, okay, I can't just stop today. Do you know what I mean? There are you have to keep going, and you've always got this. There's definitely an element of hustling when it comes to having your own business. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the word if you are understanding it in the right way. Do you know what I mean? But it's just not how people always sometimes portray it online, I think. I'm definitely feeling ill. I don't know if you can hear my voice. I can definitely feel it.
Just stay away from me.
Yeah, as I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm feeling it so much more. So, anything else that's happened over the last couple of days?
Yeah, I bought a PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. So when we did the last podcast, you hadn't got it yet.
No.
Do you remember, guys, we were talking about... We actually went out that day, by the way. If you haven't watched it, go watch the last podcast, because basically he asked if I wanted to go out, and I was like, no. And then he decided to tell me after I said no that, oh, actually, I wanted to go and get a PlayStation. And then he was being stubborn. But I managed to get him to go out. But we went out, got the PlayStation. How did you feel getting it? Let me guess. Did you feel guilty getting it? Did you have an element of guilt at all?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it. Have you been enjoying it? You look like you've been enjoying it. You should see yourself sitting there playing it.
Well, it's like... So games have changed a lot from when I was younger. Before you put a game in, start playing it straight away.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to jump through bloody hoops now. It's like a movie first.
Yeah.
A movie starts and gives you the whole background as to what the game's about. It takes you half an hour to get into it.
It's very true. I
With
know.
a car game I'm doing, I haven't even started playing it yet. I'm trying to
This is what I said to you yesterday. I heard, because obviously you can hear the sound effects and it sounds like the same thing you were doing over and over again. And I was like, have you not got past that stage yet?
Yeah, you can't play it until you get your driving license. It's a car simulator, and I have to basically do all these tests first to get a license, and then I can start playing. So yeah, it is good, but it's all the initial phase. But the second controller turned up yesterday, so we'll get our
I'm looking forward to that.
our dual player games.
Yeah,
can
that would
both
be
play.
fun. I did have a go the other day on Spider-Man, and that was pretty good. I might have another go today.
But it's good because I read the comments and people were like, "Yeah, get it." You know, loads of people are gamers and stuff. And
it's
honestly,
crazy.
I didn't realize how big a thing it is,
It's
even
huge.
in people. You know, like my age, I thought it was always a kids thing.
No.
But everybody I've spoken to, I told a few of my mates. I was like, "Oh yeah, I've bought a PS5." They're like, "Oh yeah, we've got this game. We've got to get online, do this." And I was like, "Don't tell me you've even got one as well." But
Yeah.
like everyone seems to have got one, so I've obviously missed the bus with this one. But yeah, I'm glad I got it. But so having said that, so yeah, it was good. You know, like I get what people are saying. You switch off. You know, like you don't check your phone, you don't do anything. So it's good. But I also get how people are saying don't get obsessed with it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how people can sit here all day playing it.
What, for hours and hours?
Yeah,
Have you played it and got a bit like, okay, now I need to stop?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think you just need to...
yeah. So after half
Stick
an
with
hour,
that.
an hour, it was like, okay, that's enough now.
Yeah, I think that's more than enough time, isn't
Yeah,
it?
like I've got it as a means to switch
Take a
off,
break,
right? And
yeah.
have a break. Not as let me just turn this into my life. I'll just sit here all day playing PlayStation.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's happened. What else has happened? Apart from the cold weather.
Well, I tell you what, let me tell you about my morning. I thought, you know what, let me reply to a few YouTube comments. And I don't get a chance, just for anyone listening or watching, I don't get a chance to go and reply to all of them because honestly, I'm not trying to say this in a kind of arrogant way, but there are a ridiculous amount of comments. Like, it is so many comments, I can't keep up with them. There's no way I'd be sitting there for hours replying to comments. So what I do now is I log in. I'm trying to do it on a daily basis, and I just reply to a few when I get a chance. And I always read them. And I was going through some of them this morning. This happens every so often. I'll always get the odd person who says, "You talk too much," right? Why are you here? That you've put the effort in to actually write that comment and say you talk too much. Firstly, like, it's an educational channel. I'm not even going to go into all that. I could speak about that forever. So I can talk too much if I want to, right? But the point is the channel is educational. I can't teach you something just visually. I have to talk about it. But what I wanted to talk about is how ridiculous it is, how people feel the need to write negative comments. I don't get a lot of them. Every now and again I get the odd one. But what I can't get my head round is that someone feels it's okay to sit there and comment give someone their opinion, which is negative. And the only thing that negative comment is going to do is probably make someone feel bad. I'm lucky that I don't feel that way anymore because I've got thick skin towards it now. It wasn't always the case, but I definitely don't let it get to me anymore. Now I just sit there shaking my head like, are you for real? Like, it makes me feel sorry for them, like they have nothing to do in life. Yeah, I just can't get over that there are actually people out there like that. You know what someone said? Can I just quickly add? It's not always just about, I talk too much. Someone actually said that, she has deep scratches on her face and she's trying to hide it. There's that. Someone else said that I'm lying about my age. They think I'm lying about being older. How crazy is that? They don't think I'm lying about being younger. They think I'm lying about being older. There was another one where someone said...
So I tell you what you are lying about.
What?
The fact that it hasn't got to you.
No, it's not. No, when I say it hasn't got to me, babe.
It clearly has.
Don't.
It has, because look how you're going on
Don't,
about it.
babe. What I'm saying is I can't...
I'm very thick-skinned now. It doesn't bother me.
No. Okay, look, let me be real.
If it didn't
Let me
bother,
be
okay,
real.
if it didn't bother you,
What?
when we discussed it earlier,
Yeah.
it would have just like flown straight over your head.
Okay,
You would have been done.
let me be
You'd be-
straight. Let me be straight. Let me tell you exactly what I'm thinking. No, when I say it doesn't bother me, that's probably a bit extreme, right? What I mean is it doesn't bother me in the sense that it isn't affecting my confidence. It's not making me feel sad. It's not making me feel like I want to sit and cry about it. It hasn't got to me in that sense. But it does annoy me because it's and what annoys me about it is not that you think that about me, is that you are so dumb that you think it's acceptable to leave a comment like that, whether it be on anyone's channel. That's the part that bothers me about it. Like, it's at least come up with something decent.
Do you know what? Firstly, I've said to you before, don't let it bother you, right?
Yeah.
And you clearly do let it bother you, right?
Not in the
Number
way
one.
that, you know what I mean?
Number two, I've also explained to you that people who then, when was the last time you left a negative comment on anything,
Never.
right? Look, I have never done it,
Yeah.
right? And if I've ever, like, I don't go about my life not complaining about stuff, but if I have, I will complain directly to the person who, like, for example, it could be bad service at a restaurant, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So face to face, I'm not going to go into a post, right, and leave a comment, even though we've just sat here and said, oh yeah, these people are promoting hustling or whatever it is. I don't go on their post saying, oh, bullshit. It is what it is. If that's what you want to post, you crack on with it, right? I don't even have the time to sit there and do it. The people that actually sit there and are doing this stuff, they've got nothing to do with their life. The sad little individuals who can hide behind a keyboard and say this, right? And I've said this to you before. I would like to see somebody come up to your face and say that,
Yeah.
right? So, you know, walking down the street, excuse me, mate, you're a liar.
No.
Like, nobody's going to do that.
I know.
So they're doing it because they can sit behind their little keyboard, makes them feel good about themselves. Get on with your day. Okay, you carry on. You know, all the best.
I know.
So I know I've said it to you before. Don't let it get to you. You say it doesn't let it get to you, but it clearly does.
I'm not going to think about it all day. Like, it's not to that extent. Trust me. It's just because I
Sitting there
literally
talking about it.
this morning, yeah, because I thought it's like an interesting topic. Like, people do, like, it's.
We're talking about because it got to you.
All right, now seriously, babe, you're being just as annoying as those little people
I'm
writing
not a keyboard,
comments.
am I?
No, but seriously, I'm not. It doesn't affect me in the sense. Like, trust me, I will not think about it for the rest of the day. But I just thought it's an interesting thing to bring up because it is. I guess for me,
Well, isn't it a name for it? Trolling, isn't it?
yeah, but I can't get round to the fact that people think it's acceptable to be like that.
Look, I would class that as a level of bullying,
Yeah.
right? So, old school bullying when I was at school was somebody coming up to you and saying something or doing something to you where you know you can't retaliate because they're like bigger, stronger, more popular, whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? In the same way, somebody saying something to you, you can retaliate if you want, right? But you choose not to. I always say be the bigger person, choose not to, right? But what's the point in giving this person airtime?
Yeah, I don't want to give them the satisfaction.
Right. So yeah, you said what you said. Brilliant. Enjoy your day. You know, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great life. I've just hidden you now from the channel.
Yeah.
Nothing, you won't be able to leave another comment again. Equally, people who watch videos and then complain about it afterwards. Well, what's the point in that?
I know.
That's like eating a whole meal. Like, you've taken a bite of something. I don't like this, but I tell you what, I'm going to finish eating it and then I'm going to complain about it.
And I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is what I don't get. People they think that it's acceptable. Like, sometimes I get the odd comment. And this is the only reason I've thought about it again, right? This is the part that bothers me, is that there are people out there who think it's okay to do that. It's not the personal thing that annoys me. What they've said about me doesn't annoy me. I guess I just can't get over that there are people out there like that. Like, I would love to one day just meet someone like that and just ask, like, what is in your head? Like, why do you think that's okay? Like, no wonder you are where you are. Do you know what I mean? Because it's never going to be someone who's doing better than you. It's never going to be anyone who's probably working just as hard as you.
Who told you that?
What?
Where'd you come up? Where'd you
I
come
always
up?
know when you're trying to what?
Where'd you come up?
What
with
did
that?
you tell me that?
Yeah, I told
Actually,
you that.
you see these kind of quotes everywhere online. It's not
right.
just you. You didn't make that up, babe.
Yeah, but I told you it.
Yeah, but I didn't remember it because you told me
Okay,
it.
yeah, of course, of course, it couldn't have been something that I told you.
Yeah, actually, I have seen it online as well. Like, it's a quote, and it really did kind of resonate with me. But yes, you did mention it as well. But it's true. You're not going to get someone like that. Say anything
Just
like that.
I just leave them, let them get on with it.
Yeah.
Thanks for your great comment. Do you know what I love is the ones that they leave a comment like that, and then all the other supporters come in,
Oh, I love it.
then they annihilate them.
Yeah, it's so funny. So you'll get all the other. I don't even have to reply to it because I've got other people who are loyal people, part of my community online, that will immediately reply to the person, completely shutting them down and making them look stupid. And it's great because it to me, there are far more people on there who appreciate what I do than who don't. So yeah.
That's great. We spent all that time talking about
Something that doesn't bother me.
0.1% of the people that actually leave a comment. And
No, it's not. And I'm
something
not
that
giving
doesn't
them
bother you.
airtime. I'm just saying, I just can't believe that there are people out there like this. Like, sometimes I just wonder, like, what has the world come to? How many normal people are there that are left in this world? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just bizarre to me.
I think there are a lot of normal people, but I think they just do what we do and try and keep themselves to themselves.
Yeah.
So then now you don't come across many because the people who are normal, whatever you want to call it, are doing what we're doing and just keeping themselves to themselves.
Yeah.
Even that people don't like. No, I've noticed that.
What? That we keep ourselves to ourselves?
Yeah, like say somebody does something to annoy you, right? So there's somebody I know at the moment who's doing stuff to annoy me. I've pulled back because I thought, do you know what, I can't be bothered to get into an argument with you. I don't really want to tell you how I really feel because if I did, it would jeopardise our friendship completely and I know I'd never speak to you again. So I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll just choose to pull back, right? So I'll reduce the contact that I have with you because I just don't.
You don't want to get into it.
Yeah, I can't be bothered, basically, right? And even that, then they keep prodding. Oh, what? You trying to get out of this situation? Prod. You trying to get out of this situation? Oh, prod. And they're trying to pull you back in. It's like, look, I don't want to fuel your bullshit, right? So I've pulled myself out of this. But you aren't happy with me just taking a step back, so you want to continue.
It's like they want a reaction from you.
And if I do react, you're not going to like it. Then you're going to put it on me. Oh, why did you react? What's the term for that?
Gaslighting.
There you go. That's what it is, isn't it?
That's what that person's doing. I know who you're talking about, and that is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Based on situations that you've discussed with me previously with this person, they would sit there and act like you're the one who is wrong for feeling that way. Do you know what I mean?
I can't get the look of start, like how startled they are on their face when I say it.
Yeah.
What? You think I did that? What? No. I could potentially do that.
Yeah.
No way. No. And it's like, all right.
So, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It'll be interesting to see where that goes, actually. So, shall we get into some listener questions?
Yeah.
I'm really starting to like him. At first, he seemed not so nice to you, but now I kind of get it. He's just not about being fake. And I've always loved watching you, but now, the more I watch you two together, I want to see more. And he has such a nice, manly voice.
Right. So, I've read
Let's
that comment.
talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Because there's another one. Another comment, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's like people think I'm being mean to you. I read that.
No, there's only one other person who said
Yeah,
that.
two people have said that.
Oh, did they?
Well, that plus the other one. In the last week, they were like, oh, yeah, like, I don't like how he talks to you. And I'm like, what?
I know, that really threw me too, because I was just like, what are you talking about?
They're like, oh, she's a feminist.
Right.
Or as a woman, you should stand up for yourself and don't let a man talk to you like that. And I was like, you what? Oh, like, honestly, I
Like what, though?
deleted the comment.
What was it to?
like basically she said like, I can't believe as a woman you are letting in today's day and age a guy speak to you the way that I speak to you.
Can I just say, right? This is my personal opinion. If I was to sit and talk to him a certain way that maybe some of you would class as disrespectful, and then he does the same thing to me, I personally feel like women would be very quick to pick on how he speaks to me, but they wouldn't be quick to pick on. It would be okay if I was to speak to him that way. I'll be honest, I am all about women empowerment and women helping each other and supporting one another. But I am not about when it is very clear that you pick when a man speaks to a woman a certain way, but you don't pick when a woman speaks to a man a certain way. To me, I'm very kind of neutral in that sense, where I just feel like it doesn't matter whether you're a man, woman, or whoever, you should just speak to one another respectfully. So that comment, I didn't even read it because he read it and he got rid of it before I could read it. But when he told me about it, I was just like, what? Who? What? I honestly was shocked. Because number one, I have not sat here, especially over the last few episodes, which is what they were referring to, and thought, oh my God, he was so rude to me. This is us both sitting in front of each other right now. Let's be honest. Let's just say when we do have an argument, you easily stand your own. At the end of the day, the obvious factor is you're a man, you are stronger than me, you can probably be louder than me, right? But am I someone who sits there and just takes it?
No.
Exactly. If we are having an argument and we are both going at it.
Hold on, right? You just said, oh, you're bigger and stronger and louder. Like I'm going to turn into King Kong. Right?
No, I'm stating the obvious.
Yeah, but
it's black and white.
Hold on, when you have an argument, it's not like that anyway.
No, it isn't, but I'm saying you have the capability to be, right? If someone's looking at us and they are going to say, what's the difference between them two, right? When it comes to an argument, how could he be and how could she be, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm stating. Okay, I'm not saying that you are that way when we argue.
I think in my defense, right, what I would say to that person, whoever watched it, is that even if we are having an argument, I think we respectfully argue with one another. On the odd occasion where it has got disrespectful to one another, either you or me will pull back immediately, right? Because it's escalating, and we know not not to get there. So it is a timeout where either you or I will take a step back, leave the room, go and do our own thing for a few hours until we've calmed down, and then we'll come back and resume. Right? But that's the way the argument is, right?
Yeah.
And we know when one of us is disrespecting the other person.
Yeah.
Which is very, very rare that it happens, right? But we do argue. But let's say even if we did, right? I'm not going to air an argument on a podcast. The whole level of disrespect that somebody's talking about.
I know. They think, no, but someone said, it's not they, it's literally just one person who said this, but she said that you're mean to me. And I should stand up for myself. Yeah. Oh. I'm not that person, trust me, that will, number one, be walked all over. Number two, he is not the kind of person to disrespect a woman. He's really not, trust me. He is very supportive of women. He actually really likes it when he sees women out there doing things themselves without any help, because he so respects that, you know.
I do. I think honestly,
and he speaks to me about that.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think like some of the stuff that I see. Like I don't know if you saw me. I was watching the other day, right? So here's two things, right, to show you how much I actually enjoy. Like, and this isn't even something that you told me to do, right? We saw on YouTube the other day an Emirati lady pilot taking off in an A380, right? And you were like, oh, what's that? And I was like, I've already seen that.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd already seen that in the past because it's something that I enjoyed. And I was really proud of that. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And there was two women who took off in that plane, right? Again, great. And then there's recently something else I was watching recently about another lady who's actually based here. And she's a racing driver, and she's won like trophies, like racing against other men, which again is great. You know, like especially in a sport like Formula One or you know, in motor racing, you don't really see that many women, right? And I saw that and I thought it was great. So anybody who turns around and says, oh yeah, you know, You shouldn't let him speak to a woman like that.
He's
Yeah,
not. He's
alright.
not. Trust me. I don't even know what they're referring to. It's
Whatever.
so bizarre. It's just really crazy. But anyway, I found that funny when you told me because it's so
Not
not
me.
how we are. Yeah, which was
But it's weird, right? How people portray you.
yeah.
Like people must see. I think I tell you what the problem is. People think, oh, he's so blunt with how he speaks to her that how like there's like a level of rudeness to it. But I'm not being rude. I'm just being one. I'm being myself, and two, I'm voicing my actual opinion on certain things without fannying about. Like around like beating around the bush. It is what it is, and my opinion is this.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll just get straight to the point because, again, this is something that annoys me. Why say something in 100 words when I can say it in 10?
Yeah, I know. He's just look. You're just very black and white.
That
You're
really
very
gets me.
black
Yeah,
and
yeah,
white.
yeah. It's black and white, but when people start going on and on about something, it's like in my head, I'm like, get to the point.
Yeah, I know you're like that with me.
Yeah, because you'll be like, you'll start this whole story, and I'm like, where are we going with this? In my head, I'm thinking,
But I feel
and
like we both feel like that with one another.
Listen, you get like that with me when you know what I'm talking about,
And I'm
it's
impatient. I'm
and
just
it's a
very
story.
impatient.
Yeah. So if you know what I'm talking about, it's a story that I'm telling somebody else. You'll jump in and finish it. That's what you do. Here we go. You'll never be the conversation starter. Like I'll start a conversation, so we go out.
Yeah.
We meet other people, and you sit there quietly because you don't want to be the conversation starter or pick something to talk about. And I'll pick something to talk about, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I know about this. Finished. I'll go and start the next subject.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like,
I didn't know that's how it comes across, but
But do you do that?
I think maybe I do, yeah.
But even about other stuff, you do talk.
No, but sometimes I feel like when you're saying something to someone, you're telling them a story of something, and you get through it, and then you get to a point where I know you've missed a bit, and I don't know, maybe
Is it your
you're
story
gonna...
to tell?
No, I know, but I just get very kind of like, oh...
I'll tell you what you could do.
Yeah.
You start the story next time.
Yeah, but sometimes you start it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm saying. You just bounce off each other.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's what I'll do then next time.
What?
Oh, babe, I'm just reminding you about that story. Do you want to tell them?
Okay, anyway, let's move on to another question, comment. Someone's put, my husband is 40 and heavily into sim racing, fighting games, PC gaming. Do what makes you happy, but don't get obsessed.
I agree with that.
Yep, totally agree. Thank you there. Someone has put, Happy New Year's. Oh my God, I have not stopped laughing with this episode. I wonder if Bobby has a secret sibling because my husband is the same way. He never tells me the full story of what he wants to do or not do. Always leaves it to me, and then I feel bad when I find out that he wanted to do something because I totally would have done it. Also, you should definitely get the PlayStation. My husband has one and he plays every Friday night with his buddies. We're in our mid-40s. His work is pretty stressful and it's a good way for him to decompress and shut off his brain for a few hours.
Do you know, I'm so glad. Like, there's been nothing but support with that.
What, with the PlayStation thing? Yeah, it's nice.
It's been really good.
It just goes to show you're probably late in the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Probably.
many people have been... Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So many people are obviously already
Better late
doing
than
it.
never.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you guys for your comments. I really appreciate it. There are a whole load more, but I think we'll read them on the next one. But I am definitely going to have to go take some tablets because I'm not feeling great and I can hear in my voice, my throat is hurting as well, so...
I think you should go and just
What?
carry on being not offended by comments.
I'm not offended. Like I said, I haven't even thought about it since we've spoken about it now, babe.
When did we discuss it?
Like 10 minutes ago.
Before that? An hour ago.
Yeah, because it's this morning. It's still this morning, and I told you I'm not. Don't tell me how I'm feeling when I know how I'm feeling. I'm telling you. See, Nico agrees with me.
No, he's just heard his mate outside in the corridor.
Yeah.
So Nico's got a little mate called Tommy.
Yeah.
He lives in an apartment and just... Yeah, it's Tommy. Is it Tommy?
Whoa.
Go and see who
Who is it?
Go and see if it's Tommy.
Who is it?
Okay, come here. You're not going to go out now. Come here.
Yeah, honestly, genuinely, the comments haven't offended me. It's just I can't get over the fact that there are people out there. I'm not lying. I'm being serious. I swear, honestly, that is the case. But anyway, guys, we're going to love you and leave you. I'm going to go dose up on some meds, have some lunch in a bit. I guess we're gonna see you on the next one. Thanks so much for listening and watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Leave your comments, let us know so we can read them out on the next one. Would really appreciate you subscribing, hitting the like button, sharing, whatever it is that takes your fancy, just to show a bit of support. And don't forget, we do actually have an Instagram account now, so you can see all the like short snippets from different episodes.
What do you mean, don't forget? They didn't know in the first place, so how are they going to forget?
Maybe they did know.
How? Don't forget we've got an Instagram page.
Yeah. What's so weird about that?
You can only forget something if you know it in the first place.
Yeah, maybe they did know. I probably mentioned it before.
You just said, oh my God, you just announced it like it's something new.
Did I?
Yeah.
I think I'm getting confused because I've got a couple of different pages. Because we've got one for the newsletter, one is mine. So I'm probably getting a bit confused. But yeah, we do have Instagram. It's called Minding Our Business, obviously. So you can head on over if you want to watch just the short clips. Kind of like the best bits of the podcast. So yeah. You want to say bye, babe?
Bye.
That's really weird how you've just said it. Just say it normally. Just say it normally. Just say bye normally.
Bye normally.
Yeah, but why are you looking at me and saying
Because
it?
it's weird looking into the camera and saying.
Babe, at this point, just pretend it's someone watching or listening.
It's still weird looking at it.
Why?
I don't know.
You can't do it. Just try it.
Bye everyone.
That's good. That's good. Okay, guys. See you later.
Bye.